Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Passion Project. I'm your host, Caitlin Hunt. And the last time we spoke, or you guys were listening in, it was mid-February. The Academy was celebrating the best in motion pictures, aka the Academy Awards, aka the Oscars. And looking back, I was pretty accurate with my Oscar predictions, but honestly, with everything that's going on right now, that seems like ages ago. That was 2 months ago, and things have rapidly changed almost overnight, especially within the last month, due to something that is affecting all of us right now, and I think all of us are aware of. Really feel like I don't really need to talk about it too much, but I just want to document this time that we're in. As I'm sure all of you are aware of, the coronavirus, aka COVID-19, has started, or there is an outbreak of it here in the United States, and it is changing all of our lives. Right now, across the United States, there's a lot of changes going on. Kids aren't going to school. Students aren't at universities. Most stores are closed that are considered non-essential businesses, like movie theaters, gyms, anything of that sort. Grocery stores are staying open. The shelves are often bare, and they're struggling to keep things on the shelves. Most of the time, toilet paper is a big issue, but people are having a hard time finding food. A lot of people are unemployed, unfortunately, during this time because businesses are closed down. You can't go and eat in restaurants anymore. There is only a carryout option. And that's generally across the states. I mean, all the states are at different degrees of it right now. Here in Ohio, the numbers are growing each day, and we are under a stay-at-home order here in Ohio, which a lot of other states have followed suit. Essentially, what that means is we are to practice social distancing by staying at home. We should only really be leaving our houses once a week to get groceries. And if we do go outside to get exercise, we need to make sure that we are at least 6 feet apart from a person. So also the schools here are also closed down, at least as right now as I'm recording it. It's to May 1st, but it's very likely that unfortunately all the kids in public schools will not be able to finish out the school year in schools. They'll probably be online for the rest of the semester. Hospitals, across the nation are getting overwhelmed, especially in New York City, where it's a major hotspot there with the coronavirus outbreak. But a lot of people are working hard. Nurses, doctors, cleaning staff, grocery store workers, or transportation people, truckers, just getting what we need out there. We've had to rely on them a lot more, but overall, America has slowed down. A lot of us are staying at home and not doing the things that we typically do. It's just a lot of being at home. But yeah, I just want to take this time right now just to thank all the workers who are keeping America together during this time. Like I said, our grocery store workers, thank you. Our nurses and our doctors, thank you. Any cleaning staff, thank you. Thank you for keeping our schools clean, but also all the hospitals, all the different businesses that are still open. Thank you for that. Also, thank you to our teachers, professors, anyone in education who also I'm sure had to work so diligently just to figure out what the heck to do during these unforeseen times, and just keeping it all together till the end of the semester, and just trying to work and find ways to make sure that we are still getting educated. I thank you for that. But like I said, this virus is affecting everyone. It's affecting the way everyone lives, no matter what your personal opinion on the virus is. It's changing your life. You have to admit it. And I know not everyone is excited about it. Trust me, I'm not. But it's going to happen. There's people dying out there. And it's so hard to say that over this virus. But I think you have to take a step back and realize that's what's going on. But really, I just wanted to talk about my personal experience with what's going on in my life because of this virus outbreak. And also me being sort of like a history nerd, a journalist. I mean, I think we're all sitting back and realizing that we are living through history right now. This really last big pandemic that's to this size was the Spanish flu, which happened 100 years ago. So this is just going to be a really interesting time, but I really just wanted to document it and just share with you my experiences and see somehow we can still connect during this time. I'm sure I'm going through a lot of the same things that you guys at home are going through, and I just want to be there for everyone and just say, like, hey, it's okay to have these feelings that we're having, and it's okay to be sad about some of the things that are going on. But I guess the best place to start would be about a month ago, actually. Now it's hard to believe it's been a month. Seems a lot shorter, seems a lot longer ago. It's a weird in-between phase. But I was on spring break about a month ago and from Ohio University, and I was just sort of minding my own business when I saw that Ohio State, the major state school here in Ohio, was suspending classes for the next 2 weeks. And I was sort of like, okay, this is a little weird. I mean, at this point, Corona had reached Ohio, but we only had about 7 cases. And I guess I thought, I was under the impression it would be sort of like the Ebola scare that we had a couple years ago, where everyone was so concerned about it. And when it did reach the United States, it was only a few people that got infected. And so I thought, well, it's only a few people, or it's in these different sections. We'll have this handled in a few weeks. But anyway, Ohio State was really the first school, university in our state to take action and say, hey, we're not going to have on-campus classes for the next 2 weeks. And next thing I knew, Ohio University was under that same boat. And I was at first very excited because I was like, oh, extended spring break. We're just going to chill at home. I'm going to have more time because I've been having a very stressful semester. And I just wanted to be at home and rest and relax. And then by the end of the week, that had all changed. By the end of the week, Ohio State had said that they were suspending all in-person classes for the rest of the school year, and everything else would be online. And that was very shocking to me, and I just didn't really see. I saw why Ohio State would do it, just because they're a bigger state school than Ohio University. But slowly but surely, I saw other universities were taking the same action. And by the end of the day on that Friday of what was originally my spring break, Ohio University announced that we would be suspending all in-person classes for the rest of the semester. And that weekend, I had to go down and pack up my dorm room. Given that, it did take 2 trips to get all my stuff because I was not expecting to come home. But everything just sort of happened in a matter of a couple days. And even looking back on it, I feel like I really didn't have a spring break because I was so back and forth, and I guess my body just got situated and realized, well, hey, we're going to be at home for the rest of the semester. And so that is what I'm doing. I've came home from campus. I know a lot of my friends and people I know, they have apartments on campus, so they stayed at home. And we've been doing online classes, which has been somewhat interesting, given I am a journalism major. So what my journalism classes have been doing is we've been reporting stories from our homes. We've been Skyping people to get interviews and recording them on our desktops. And we've been writing stories online. And then some of my other classes, we've been doing discussion boards where we just type responses, do a lot of readings, talking to some of my other friends from other universities and from Ohio University. Some of them still have to attend classes at the same time that they usually would through Zoom, Microsoft Teams. Those are the really popular platforms that we've been using to connect. Even my organizations have been trying to keep up. I mean, Crew, we still have our Bible studies. We heavily rely on Zoom and FaceTime to connect. And, it's even affected her campus. As I'm sure our frequent followers realize, we don't have as many articles posted as we usually do. And that's just us trying to adjust to these crazy, crazy times. Talking with Hannah, we are definitely going to be posting articles when we can, when we have new content. So still keep up with us. Still follow us on social media. We're still updating that pretty much every single weekday. So keep posted. Her campus is still around. We have not gone away, but we're just trying to also work and adapt to these crazy times. And I mean, this is a hard time for everyone. I really feel for our seniors at Ohio University and across the nation. because right now Ohio University has said that they have postponed the graduation, which I think is very good of them to do, just because compared to some other schools, friends that I have at other universities, they sort of decided not to have commencement or even try for a real commencement, and they're just going to do it virtually, which I understand both arguments. I understand that, we do have people who are dying of this disease and people are getting infected, and we really, to promote health, we shouldn't be enticing people to gather at large events. But I think postponing it to a later time would be good, because it still gives people that opportunity to walk across the stage, no matter what that looks like. I know life is definitely going to change once this virus is over. Who knows when we can gather again as a large group safely. But I really feel for them, because there's so many senior traditions, so many fun things that we do in the spring at Ohio University, and unfortunately they're going to have to miss out on that, and they're not going to have that in their memory books, or they're not able to say goodbye to their professors and other underclassmen friends that they have, and just say goodbye to the school that they've been at for the last 4 years. And it really hurts, and I think it's completely okay for people to mourn and be upset, because you have to accept your real feelings. I'm a big supporter of that, and my heart just hurts for them, because I also have things that I'm mourning and things that I'm doing that I can no longer do because of the virus outbreak. Yep. That's pretty much what university student life is like. I mean, we're just going through the motions, essentially. A lot of professors, I'm hoping, are really understanding of this time. I know my professors have been, and understanding that, there's going to be a lot more family issues, a lot more time at home that we need to be with our family. And this can be a stressful time. I know a lot of people have anxiety over this, what's going on, just a lot of this unknown. So I really hope that all professors are really understanding during this time. But like I said, I'm currently at home, and it looks like I will be home for the foreseeable future. As I mentioned, I have things that I'm not able to do, or I'm missing out on because of the outbreak. This summer, I had planned to go to New York and do an internship, like I did last summer. But I received a call a couple weeks ago saying that they had canceled the internship program for the summer. And I guess a part of me was sort of like, well, we can wait this out. There's still hope. We don't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on. This could really change before I'm supposed to go there. Or they might say, like, hey, can you come later? We might be ready to open up again. Open up the country, essentially. But they called and said that they canceled, just for the safety of everyone, especially with it being in New York. And like I said, that's pretty much the epicenter of the outbreak here in the United States. And I can't lie and say that I wasn't upset, because I was upset. And like I said, I think we need to give people permission to mourn things. I think it's totally okay. I know because I feel those same feelings of, there's a lot more going on, a lot more deadlier, a lot more important things going on. And I guess it's hard to have these feelings because they feel very selfish. And I understand that, because that's what I felt like in that moment when I was being upset. Like, I was trying to tell myself, there's more important things. People need help. We need to stay inside and really care for the health of other people. But I was upset. I had planned a great summer. I was looking forward to it. I was looking forward to be back in New York. As a lot of my listeners know, I love New York. It's my favorite city in the world. I was so looking forward to go back, connect with some old friends, and I can't do that anymore. And I guess it's also very upsetting, to me, because those were my plans, and they've been my plans for about a year. Ever since I came back from New York last summer, I said, well, we'll try again next year to go back. And I felt really glad and really accomplished that I was making my goals that I wanted again. And it just hurts to see them crumbling down. And now I genuinely do not have any plans for the summer. I don't have a summer job that I typically come back to. I've had summer jobs, but with the internship, I was like, well, this internships will now be my summer job. That's how I'll go. I'll get experience. I'll make some money. along with it. But right now I don't have any plans. I've thought about taking summer classes, but I'm only a few credit hours away from possibly graduating, and I want to spend a whole year, especially now with what's going on, spend my whole senior year on campus instead of graduating early. So I really don't see the point or see reason as to why I should go ahead and take some more classes over the summer. And so, like I said, I genuinely don't know what's going on, and I think a lot of other people have the same feelings as well who may have canceled internships or anything like that. I hope to get a job, but then again, we don't know what's going on. I know I keep repeating that statement, but we generally don't. I'd love to have a job, make some money, have something to do instead of just sitting around like I have been doing for like the past month. I want to work. I want to have something to do. But then again, I am more susceptible to the disease than maybe some other people. I do have asthma, so my mom is very concerned about me going out and being amongst people, especially with we don't have a vaccine to really protect or anything. So that's another thing to consider. And both my parents are over 60, and so I would hate to put myself in a situation where I would be going out and then possibly bringing it back home to them. So that's something else I've had to consider. So it's just a very frustrating time, and I'm sure a lot of you share the same sentiments that I do. It's like you want to get out, you want to do things, but it's like I have to stay home for these people. Like a lot of the people have been sharing on social media who they're staying home for, and I'm staying home for myself and my parents and also all the hospital workers and everything else. But it's just hard because I'm definitely a planner, and I like to have some plans, but this is not a situation that you plan for or a situation that you can really plan around or plan ahead for or see past it, because we just don't know. For all we know, this could go all the way into the fall. We're hoping not, but we'll see if I can even get back on campus in the fall. That will be interesting as we get closer to August, but we shall see. For now, in the moment though, I've been trying to keep up and keep up a schedule just to keep myself sane. I knew going into this that it would be very easy to fall into, I guess, idle behavior, just wanting to lay around and just watch things. And I did that for the week, pretty much the week where we had an extra week of spring break, Ohio University did. And so I did that for that week, but once classes started, I was trying to get back in the motion. So I tried to keep a consistent schedule. I still get up around my usual time that I used to at school to go and do like a workout, but I'm not going out and working out. That was probably my biggest concern when the non-essential businesses had to close down, because I love going to the gym and working out and running on the treadmill, using the elliptical, using the machines, and I just don't have any access to that in my home. So I've really had to adapt. So my workouts typically consist of, I found some stuff on YouTube that was like a at-home like body weight workout that was cardio. Apparently Gigi Hadid uses this when she's traveling on the road, and so I tried and used that a lot. And I've also used a Zumba Wii game that I bought a couple years ago. But that's like a really good workout, really good cardio. Also, my dad and I go on a daily afternoon walk through our neighborhood. Sometimes it's very cold, but we're very dedicated walkers. But like yesterday, we just didn't go because it was just too cold. There was snow here in Ohio. So very interesting time indeed. But we just stayed inside, but trying to keep that up. Outside of that, I've sort of learned how to cook. I mean, you guys may laugh at what I've learned how to cook, but I'm not a good cook. I'm not a good cook. I just have never found the time to sit down and learn how to cook basic things. Like I can now cook chicken, bake it in the oven. I can also make hamburgers now. I've also learned how to scramble eggs, how to make an omelet, and I'm making my own meals. Before, basically, my great achievement in the kitchen was being able to make quesadillas in the microwave. I need to convert that and do that on top of the stove because they're a lot better that way, guys. And making these little like sandwiches I use with like the King's Hawaiian rolls, which are delicious. Maybe I'll share my secret, but honestly, just put some turkey, some cheese in between those little Hawaiian rolls and you're good to go. And those are a tasty treat. But I've been learning how to do that, hopefully to expand. Outside of that, I've been reading books. I know I discussed in my earlier podcast about New Year's resolutions, how I wanted to read more. I've been doing that actually pretty well during the school year, but with all this extra time, I have just blown through my stack of books that I read. I'm literally down to 3 books, which hasn't been like that in a while, and I'm not sure if I'm okay with that. So I'm hoping that Books A Million or Barnes & Noble has some sales soon or something, or I might just have to crash and buy some books because I'm a physical book person. I don't have, I have an iPad, but I don't really like to use e-readers anymore, and our library is closed, and I just don't feel comfortable borrowing things, but I'm like, buying fresh books with all the germs going on, I can help the economy as well. That's my stance on it. But I've been reading a lot. I just finished reading the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I never read that as a kid, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I loved it. So to all my friends who told me over the years to read it, I have read it and I love it. So thank you for that recommendation. I know it's a long time coming. Also been watching a lot of TV and movies, which I absolutely love. I have a extremely long list of movies on Netflix on my list tab on Netflix that I really need to sit and watch. It's movies and TV shows, and so luckily I've had the time to just plow through and get rid of some of the things because I just noticed my habits where I add things to my list and then I never go and watch them, or I'm just not consistent with it, and I'm like, I really want to watch these movies that I add to my list, but I really just forget about them, or I'm not in the mood. So I'm trying to get myself to just dwindle my list down and hopefully see some movies that are essential, because I just always lose out, because by the time I'm ready to watch them, they're gone off of Netflix, or they're not on a streaming platform I have access to. So just going through that. Been watching a lot of TV shows. I just finished watching You on Netflix. Incredible show. I thought it was going to be completely overrated because everyone's obsessed with it. And if you know me, you know I really like to try and go against the grain of things. I don't like to fall, I don't always fall into what's popular unless it's really, really good. But You is really, really good. I highly recommend it, especially if you're in thrillers. Right now there's only 2 seasons. Season 3 is supposed to come out next year, but who knows with productions getting delayed when we'll see that. But hopefully in 2021. But yeah, that's another thing. We've had to wait around a lot for movies. I was really pumped for Mulan to come out at the end of March, but that's been backtracked to July, and now all of other movies have been pushed back. Black Widow's been pushed back, but I'm hoping more movie companies and productions really take to just putting it on streaming services, like Onward, a Pixar movie starring Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. It came out in theaters right before this outbreak really happened. And so they just recently put it on Disney Plus. And so that was just really great to watch. And I haven't gotten around. I want to see Birds of Prey, the new Harley Quinn movie, and also the new adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma. They've released them video on demand. And so that's been a really great move, I think. I know Artemis Fowl, that was supposed to come out during Memorial Day weekend, a Disney movie, they're going to put that on Disney Plus. So I just hope a lot of other movie services take it to heart and do it. I don't know when movie theaters are going to open. Some people are projecting mid-June, but as my dad and I talk, we're big movie theater people. What are they going to open with? I don't know if movies will necessarily be ready for them to put up, even though they've delayed it, but hopefully at least by the end of July we'll be able to get back into the movies, or we'll all feel safe to, and I can go see Mulan and then Wonder Woman in August. But yeah, that's my current situation. Like I said, it's just very disappointing that I won't be able to go back to New York, and because I don't know when I will, but I'm hoping next summer maybe I can apply for some internships or fellowships after I graduate and hopefully return. But I don't know if the New York I left last summer will be the same New York in the future, given this virus, or who knows when we're allowed to get out and open our doors, if the world will be the same even. I'm at least hoping there will be a bit more food on the grocery store shelves. It's sort of been hard to find some certain foods that I like. I did not realize everyone liked the same deli meat, Hillshire Farm meat, that I liked. Or it's hard to find my favorite quesadilla wraps that are only 50 calories. But I guess other people like them too, or they're running out and they're just seeing whatever they can get. But hopefully I can find them. Once again, thank you to all the grocery store workers. Greatly appreciate you guys working around the clock to stock and also check us out and help us and everything that you're doing. But like I said, it's disappointing, but I know I'm staying safe, and sometimes I do get a little stir crazy or get a little antsy, especially on days like today when, like this weekend is Easter when I'm recording this, and usually we go out to eat or we go and outside to celebrate, or my mom and I go shopping. It's just the normal activities I do, I can't do them, and it can get frustrating, like I said, at times, but I'm making the most of it and just really trying to acknowledge my feelings and not letting them explode at once, because that's not good for me or for anyone, or especially my parents, since they are the ones around and have to deal with me long term. But it has been good to be at home and be with my parents. And someone mentioned this in one of my groups, us being juniors, this is really sort of like a blessing in disguise, something I didn't think about. But if I would have gone off to New York this summer, this is probably one of the last times where I'll be at home and I won't be having to adult. Next year I'll be graduating, and so this will be a good time for my family and I just to spend time together and be together, especially since last summer I was gone. But yeah, it's a blessing in disguise. We'll see what the future holds for us. Ohio is under stay-at-home order until May 1st as of now, but I would not be surprised if around April 30th, Governor Mike DeWine says, for another month. So I'm just keeping myself prepared and getting used to the situations and just accepting whatever life throws at us, because I can't control the situation at all. And this is just a really hard time for all of us. But like I said earlier, I just want to thank everyone once again who is out there keeping the world turning. So everyone who's working in the hospitals, no matter what their position is, they are just keeping the lights going. They're keeping people safe, keeping food for the patients, and keeping them and making sure they're healthy. I do have a lot of family members who are working the front lines, as everyone's been saying and calling it. So really thinking of them and anyone else who's in their positions. Like I said earlier, our teachers, like, my goodness, like having to come up with all these, school plans on such short notice, and just really adapting to the situation and finding ways to connect with your students and getting materials out to your students, talking to public school teachers or private school teachers, K through 12 teachers, and then our university professors also, like, adapting and also being really understandable during these crazy times. I know a lot of us are going through things. I have friends leaving or having just different home life situations because we're coming home to so many different things and we're not on the same level playing field. So thank you, professors, for being understanding. Once again, anyone working in the grocery stores, thank you for keeping us all well fed. And those working in the cleaning industry, whether you're cleaning in the hospitals, cleaning the stores, or just working with a private business trying to, keep things clean, thank you for keeping us healthy and trying to kill some of those germs that may be laying around. And I also want to encourage everyone to stay home. As I keep saying, it's a very hard situation for me, and I know it's a very hard situation for anyone, especially if we're really active people, but please do it. It's not about you, I guess is one way to put it. It's about all the other people that we could possibly infect. There has been a lot of cases actually, where a lot of people have coronavirus, but they're asymptomatic, meaning they don't show any symptoms, yet they can go and infect other people and they start to show symptoms. So just be really cognizant of that, and the people you're interacting with. Do practice social distancing. So I want to give a clear definition on that, because I think a lot of people are confused. So when we say social distancing, while the state may say, oh, you can gather with no more than 10 people, be really careful and cognizant of that, because there has been situations where people have had house parties where they bring people over, which, oh, you students, stop having house parties. They're not safe. I know you're bored, but please think about everyone's health. Really, when you're social distancing, you should be hunkering down with the people that you are living with, and really any outside interactions other than that, keep them 6 feet or do it over FaceTime. Like, it's really hard for right now for me because I'm home and my friends are also home, but it's so weird because we can't meet and talk. So we're having to Zoom from our houses when typically we would go out and have a nice brunch meal together, but we can't, and it's hard. But we know at the end of this, we're going to be able to do that because we stayed at home and we stayed safe. So I want to encourage everyone to do that. Social distancing, keep it to the people in your house. If you have to interact with someone else, like I said, keep it 6 feet apart. That's really going to keep you guys safe and healthy. And there's just so much unknown with this virus. So that's another reason to stay at home. I know we shouldn't be scared, but it's just one of the easiest and most, I think, intelligent ways to keep yourself safe as well. But stay at home. Think of other people. If you do have to go out, they're recommending now that you can wear masks. So a lot of people are selling masks online, or you can even make your own mask if you guys are crafty. There's a bunch of tutorials online, but wear a mask if that makes you guys feel better. Wear gloves as well, but also be careful wearing gloves because you're still spreading germs. Just make sure you take them off and as well. Also, you can still eat out. I encourage everyone to still reach out to their local restaurants and order from them. You can do carry-out options. They just say, like, when you do get carry-out, make sure you take it out of the boxes and put it on a clean plate, like, at your house. So just think about that. Those are really good things. But also just take this time to spend with your family if you're at home with your family, or even connect over Zoom with your family. You can learn something new. I know a lot of people are trying to teach themselves different instruments. Take the time to read or just catch up, or just don't do anything at all. I mean, this is a great time to rest and relax, and I just don't want anyone to feel like, come out of this feeling like, oh, I was so unproductive during like self-isolation that I didn't do anything at all. Like, that's a wonderful thing not to do, because we have spent so much time running around being busy, and I think this could be really like a sign for us to just slow the heck down. So just take it as an opportunity to even do just that, but do whatever makes you guys feel happy and fulfilled doing that as well. But you know, we're all in this together, to quote High School Musical, but we genuinely are. It's going to take everyone's efforts to really keep everyone safe and back on track. And you know, the more that we stay at home, the quicker that we are to do it, the quicker we can get back to life. Like I said, I don't necessarily think it's going to be the same way, but hopefully we can. I'm hoping that we can, that eventually very soon we will get back to normal life. But for now, this is the new normal, and we're just going to have to roll with the punches, everyone. But my thoughts and prayers are with everyone at this time. Honestly, I know everyone's going through different emotions. Whether you are a senior and you won't be able to walk across the stage, or you guys are at home and you're not at your best state just because you don't have a great home life, or you have family who are working on the front lines and you're worried about them, or I hope not, but maybe you have a family member or a loved one who has been diagnosed with coronavirus. I'm just thinking of everyone right now. My thoughts and prayers are with you guys, but please stay safe, stay well, wash your hands. Thinking of everyone right now, but thank you guys so much for listening. This has been The Passion Project, and I'm Caitlin Hunt.